Some breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. According to a report from ESPN, after a brief tenure, John Beilein is leaving as Cleveland's head coach. Associate head coach JB Bickerstaff will be replacing Beilein as the head coach for the remainder of the season. Beilein's expected to say goodbye to staff and players on Wednesday when the team comes back from the All-Star break. Let's welcome in senior college basketball analyst Matty Norlander and NBA analyst. He's going to break it down. Matt, listen, Beilein, guy left Michigan to become the coach of the Cavs. He signed a 5-year deal, already stepping away. Why do you believe his coaching style didn't transfer to the NBA?
Well, he had never coached at the NBA level, at any level, at any point in his career. And at 66, 67 years old when he takes this job, obviously it's a significant shift. There's a reason why so many coaches over the years that spent a lot of time, years, if not decades in college, did not work at the NBA level. It's not that it can't work. We've seen instances where it can. Brad Stevens notably, and even Billy Donovan's been able to find a good amount of success with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But Beilein's approach to the game, which obviously worked in college for so long, literally decades, and he was successful at the smallest levels and then all the way up to West Virginia and then at Michigan, where you could argue that he became the greatest coach in Michigan basketball history. There just was not a translation to the NBA level. This was a weird fit from the start. And remember, when this happened, when this broke a few weeks after the end of the season last year in 2019, it did take people by surprise. I mean, Juwan Howard suddenly getting the Michigan job amounted to one of the biggest stories in college basketball's offseason. So obviously no one thought it was going to go this way. Beilein still regarded as a very good coach, but maybe it was just a bad fit with the job. You know, also, if you really take a look at what the Cleveland Cavaliers have been for 30, 35 years when LeBron James wasn't wearing a Cavs uniform, you know, obviously that outfit, that organization is among the poorest in all of the NBA. So you can make the argument that this is not as much an indictment on Beilein as it is on Cleveland itself. I mean, both sides could be seen to be at fault here. Yeah, no, if you don't have the talent, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Wow, 12 seasons at Michigan. Only half a season in Cleveland, 14 wins. You think we can expect a return to college basketball for Beilein anytime soon? Well, if he's going to do it, I think he's going to have to do it almost certainly in the coming weeks here. I spoke with the source in light of this news breaking in the industry, and the quote was, he'll field calls for sure. There are some jobs we can discuss here, all of them which are obviously currently occupied, but the rumor mill, it waits for nobody here. The first and obvious and biggest job is the Texas Longhorns. Now, Shaka Smart has underperformed relative to expectations there. The Longhorns are not tracking to the NCAA tournament. That is considered within college basketball as an undisputed top 10 job. It's not maybe the top 10 program, but job is different than program. Job is how much you're afforded in terms of assistant pay pool, the geographic region, the conference you're in, the resources you have, the facilities you're at. Texas, with all that comes with it, is easily a top 10 job in college basketball. The question is, will they try and move on from Shaka Smart? And if that does happen, does Texas want to bring in a coach, granted, as great as Beilein, in his late 60s, 67, going to be 68 next season? If Beilein wants to return to college basketball, how much longer does he want to do this? Does he want to do it for 4 years, 6 years, another decade? These are big questions that need to be answered. One more note on Texas is this. Weirdly enough, when Juwan Howard got the Michigan job, the runner-up was Luke Yaklich. He was the defensive coordinator, if you will, for Michigan in its late-stage resurgence under Beilein. He is now the lead assistant at Texas. He's already in place there, so you have something of what could be a reconvening between those two. But if it's not Texas, and I'm not sold that it even would be, if I'm a Wake Forest with Danny Manning, they've been slumping and sliding. He's got a big buyout, but I'm trying as best I can. And then a Boston College, which has had Jim Christian for 6 seasons, can't find footing in the ACC. I actually think from a fit standpoint, Boston College would be a really nice potential fit for John Beilein. But that's a few of the schools right now. It's not setting up, Scott, to be a huge carousel year. And there's one more storyline that'll kind of develop here. John's son, Patrick, was the head coach at Niagara at the start of this season. He parted ways with the school. under some reasons that he didn't specify, but said he needed to spend time with his family, and there was an internal investigation. Some sources believe that John might not return to college unless he can actually bring Patrick onto his staff, specifically because of how old he is, and the way that ended with Patrick at Niagara certainly leaves him in a tough spot in terms of getting another job, at least in the short term. So there are a lot of elements at play here. The bottom line is this: there is no candidate that would be on the market that would be more coveted than John Beilein. Age be damned. Took Michigan to 2 national title games. Clearly knows his X's and O's. Clearly is better suited for the college game. And I believe if he went to another spot in a high major conference, he could absolutely thrive. The question is, does he want to, and how long does he want to coach?
All right, CBS Hoops expert Matt Norlander. Matty, thank you very much, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.